17 hours GMT here in Accra, Ghana. Good evening and welcome to Starr Today here on Starr 103.5 FM. And coming up this evening,
budgets for first quarter of 2025, LI revoking banning in forest reserves, approval of over $500 million facility, other key government business in limbo as Parliament adjourns abruptly over constitutional standoff between legislature and judiciary.
Well, we'll also hear the thoughts of a Supreme Court judge on happenings unfolding between the legislative arm of government and the judiciary, and his advice to his fellow judges.
You will not be concerned with happenings in other parts of the city. Whether they like it or not, they will come back to us.
Tonight on Starr Today, we ask what the impact of this indefinite adjournment will have on the outstanding government business, plus bring you the latest on the impasse over who occupies the majority side of the House.
Well, later in the bulletin, we'll also bring you the frustrations and lamentations of parents who say they have inadequate time to prepare for the reopening of schools for first-year students.
It is very, very frustrating and very, very worrying to see that things are happening this way. Parents are not given ample time. I don't know what kind of report are they to report to their kids. Is it the day they are going to take their prospectus or whatever? Things are just done anyway, anyhow. And this is about education here.
We'll hear shortly from the National Council of Parents Teachers Association of Ghana and their plea to the Ghana Education Service.
Well, also in the bulletin, small-scale miners in Ghana endorse former President John Mahama's policy for responsible mining in the country.
We have gone through both manifestos, but we can easily confirm and say that the manifesto of NDC is what can resolve the problem. So what we are saying that we need a change.
And much later on the campaign trail tonight, we sit with the MP for Keta, Kwame Jujoli Gakpe.
We have details of these and more, so you really want to stick and stay with us right here on Starr Today.
Starr News is coming to you live on Ultimate 106.9 FM in Kumasi, Empire 102.7 FM in Takrady, Cool 103.5 FM in Ho, Rage and Might FM in Tamale, Somali FM in Wa, My Star Radio in the USA. Also live on Facebook on Starr 103.5 FM and on starfm.com.gh around the world. This is Starr 103.5 FM.
Well, grateful for your company this evening. Thank you so much for staying on with us right here on Starr Today here on Starr 103.5 FM. This is Ghana's most comprehensive news analysis program. And as always, we are live on Facebook. So do join us there with your thoughts, your comments, your views and contributions to the stories we'll be tackling this evening. And I'm sure you know, very, very critical on the matter this evening has to do with Parliament.
And the budget for the first quarter of the 2025 financial year, the LI to revoke banning in forest reserves and the approval of a $500 million loan facility are in limbo after Parliament adjourned abruptly today over the constitutional standoff between the legislature and the judiciary. Now, this comes after MPs on both sides of the House engaged in a battle for the majority title in Parliament. Now, as the House resumed sitting today, both caucuses jostled each other to sit on the right-hand side of Speaker Bagbin. A decision by the Supreme Court for the Speaker to stay his decision regarding the vacancy of 4 seats in Parliament has heightened tensions in the legislature. Earlier, when the chamber was opened, all MPs rushed to the majority side until the leader of the NPP caucus, Alexander Penyumarkin, instructed his side to leave and wait for the Speaker's order. The following report captures what transpired this morning.
We are the new patriotic party. We are the new patriotic party. The elephant is carrying
NPP and NDC caucus in Parliament chanting party songs as they battle to sit on the right-hand side of Speaker Babin, which is the designated spot for the majority side. The NDC side insists that until the Speaker makes a new declaration, they remain the majority. Yusuf Sulemana is MP for Bole.
The Supreme Court has not served me any notice. It is the Speaker that perhaps they serve a notice. Until Speaker rule otherwise, I'm supposed to be at the majority side.
So you go there and sit on the right-hand side of the...
Let's get in and see. In any case, they have started wrongly. We're all given a directive that access will be given to us at 8 o'clock. Who opened the doors for them to enter when it's not time? And so when you breach the rules and, we also react, then you say we are violent? The Speaker gave a directive that until 8 o'clock, these doors should not be opened. Who opened them for the majority people to go in?
But the chief whip of the NPP caucus, Frank Anodompra, says claims by the NDC MPs that he connived with some security personnel to access the chamber before the 8 a.m. stipulated time is false.
It's a very wild conjecture, and you know how I work, how you operate in Parliament. And you have been reporting from Parliament for a very long time. So if for anybody to say that I connived, it's a wild thing that anybody can imagine or even put out. I don't want to glorify that kind of allegation. I came here as part of my duties. It's not only these days today that I come to work early. Every time I come to work early. And when I came, I didn't enter by my will. I sought permission from the security. I asked them, is the place accessible? Can I enter? And they answered in the affirmative. So I went in there together with my colleague. We went there just to be sure. It's my duty as a whip to be sure that things are okay. So I got there, and what I wanted, I found it. And so I sat down. Then they called me and said that they wanted to sweep the place. Willingly, I walked out and came and stood here. What is wrong with this? He should have known. He came to meet me. I was a whip before he became a whip. There are lessons I need to teach him. So he should be humble enough to learn. He just entered a whip job. He should be he should be careful making allegations and be humble enough to also learn how whips work.
Shortly after the chamber was opened to MPs, members of both sides laid claims to the majority side. But Jaboso MP Kwabena Mensah Kando questioned why the NPP side joined them.
I cannot think for the NPP or the minority caucus at the moment why they are sitting where we are. I cannot think for them, but I can talk for us. And you are a reporter in Parliament, and during our last sitting, Mr. Speaker ruled that or declared us as majority, and you know where majority sits in the chamber, and so that is why we are seated at the right-hand side of Mr. Speaker, and it's obvious. And so for me, unless when you see them, you ask them why they are also seated with us. I mean, it's as simple as that.
Many fear the apparent tension between the judiciary and the parliament could lead to clashes in the chamber. However, NPP leader and MP for Efutu, Alexander Afenyomarkin, has allayed such fears.
We will not allow anybody to disturb the peace of the country. It is a notorious fact that we remain the majority caucus of this parliament. You, the media, must add your voice to the advocacy to compel our colleagues to respect the fidelity of the law. We are leaving this chamber peacefully into our offices, await Mr. Speaker's arrival, and if he calls leadership and we do pre-sitting discussions, we'll take it up from there. But for now, that lawless theater will not share with them.
Before the Speaker makes a pronouncement in the matter, Bogatanga East MP Dominic Ayine claims the Speaker has instructed his lawyers to file processes at the court to vacate the ruling of the Supreme Court.
Void orders should not be complied with. A void order is an order that is empty of any legal basis. All right. The case we are dealing with. Well, I mean, and usually, as lawyers, we will advise the clients that even if it is a void order, you must go to court to have the order set aside. In the case of Mr. Speaker, all right, I am reliably informed that his lawyers are, currently trying to file processes to set aside the order of the Supreme Court. In that case, the status quo ante, in our view, should stay.
As tensions rise in Parliament following the court's decision overturning the Speaker's declaration, Many are watching closely to see how this development will affect the working relationship between the judiciary and the legislative body moving forward.
So that was a wrap of what happened this morning. But then it got rather more interesting, and Ibrahim Al-Hassan has joined us in studio. But before we get to Ibrahim, let's still listen now to security analyst Dr. Adam Bona. Now, one of the key things that people talked about was the military deployment we saw in Parliament in the early hours of today. Well, he's also been condemning that. Listen to him. Then we'll have a conversation with IB.
Because then usurping the power of Parliament and a very important organ of government as a legislator would amount to treason, would amount to trying to overthrow the constitution of this government. But unfortunately, nobody has been punished up to today. I am sure that if you play your tapes, you would know the officers who were moved there, and we need to find out who sent them there. But that has not been dealt with. And so as far as I'm concerned, I think the issue is being dealt with. I'm watching TV, watching your channel, and I can see parliamentarians in Parliament. I think it's the NDC caucus, because the MPP caucus have abandoned Parliament. And so they seem to be waiting for the Speaker, the Right Honourable Speaker of Parliament, to make an appearance in Parliament and tell them what his decision is, since the judiciary attempted to step in. As far as I'm concerned, cool heads must reign. We need to bring this matter one way or the other to a certain conclusion, a certain finality. As far as I'm concerned, Lantam, for me, I am happy the military, you just confirmed to me the military have left, and they shouldn't come back there again. They are not needed within the precinct of Parliament. Parliamentarians are not terrorists. We don't have terrorists, any terror incursion into Parliament, and we don't need them. They've done their sweeping of the place with their canines. They are gone. They shouldn't come back again until probably they are called to come.
That's Adam Bona. I mean, clearly, Ibrahim has joined us in studio, Parliamentary Affairs correspondent. Ivy, so the soldiers.
Yes.
I mean, there were earlier agitations from the NDC caucus. Now, you don't even know which side to call minority and majority.
Yeah, so maintain the caucus. This
okay.
Caucus, that caucus.
So the NDC caucus raised alarm, and yesterday, in the office of the majority of Penyo
NPP caucus. The leader of the NPP caucus.
Charlie, the team belong.
Majority leader, as it were.
As it were. Now, he mentioned that there was no plan whatsoever from their side to deploy. But, I mean, let's set the record straight. Yeah. What do we know about the deployment?
Well, so indeed, the military were in Parliament. They were not there to do what they did when Speaker Babin was being elected.
The election one.
They were not there to enter the chamber and try to separate fights. They were not there to enter the chamber to protect ballot boxes, as happened on January 7, 2020. They were there at the behest of the Speaker. Right. The Speaker actually requested the presence of the military team that came there with their K9s and what have you to sweep the place, not with brooms, but to use gadgets, and sweep the place for any explosive
bombs, whatever be the case.
Yes, because where we are and given the temperature in the country.
But is that standard practice? Is that something that usually happens
on special occasions? Because the military is the only body what sets know-how and the equipment to be able to do that. Yes, the police have got their own K9s and what have you, but Speaker decided to ask for the services of the military. And so that puts to rest the presence of the military and what their mission was. Their mission was to first of all sweep the place for any explosives, after which they were expected to leave. In fact, they came in a van that has those gadgets to be used in sweeping the place. After that, they left and they never came back. And it's not surprising because, like I said, where certain is taking place now, the Grand Arena, it's like a stone throw away from the National Security Office, where Kandapa operates from, the Blue Gate, the famous Blue Gate. And so it's not surprising that at least even the military would have been seen there at that time in the morning. Right. Because they actually used there to enter the Blue Gate.
Okay.
Right.
But is there any link between the leaked chat we saw yesterday and what happened in Parliament today?
Well, so the linkage is that there were some group of party supporters who came from Nsawamadu Ejiri. Right. They came.
On the ticket of?
They were wearing MPP colors.
Okay.
So we can assume that they were MPP supporters. They came in a bus. And ostensibly, they were coming to meet the NDC supporters that were equally being masked up to go to Parliament this morning.
Yeah, I think there was a post by Mustafa Gbandi on his social media asking the NDC supporters to mask up there.
Yes. Okay. Little did the MPP supporters know that might have been just social media mobilization. It was going to end there. So it didn't manifest in physical mobilization. So when they came, they realized that
they were set up.
All the way from Mr.
So they came there, and then of course there was nobody to counter their excitement and their enthusiasm. So they had to go back. So they left, and then they went back.
And I can imagine the look on their face.
The disappointment.
Knowing very well that I came to support my party.
They're ready for a
there's
showdown.
no need to support my party because nobody needs my services. But yesterday, Afenyo Makin mentioned that they had no intention whatsoever to mobilize party supporters there. But now let's talk about Parliament itself.
Yeah.
I mean, after all these, we were all expecting a showdown. So we had all our guys there. I mean, you were there.
Yes.
Eko was there.
Yes.
We had a team.
Definitely.
Expecting some fireworks. Only for Speaker to come and pour sand in our guy.
Yes. The fireworks, the initial gragra, quite exciting. At least newsworthy.
And the MPs marching in Parliament, the NDC caucus chanting the Agbaja.
Beautiful.
Waving the flag while reciting the national pledge.
It was a spectacle.
Yes. And so Speaker then decided that you guys have had enough. So then he was going to call it quit at that level. Because, there was a precedent engagement, meeting, discussion that lasted for well over 30 minutes.
Okay.
In fact, the initial discussion was just held between the Speaker and then the minority front bench or the NDC caucus front bench, right? Because, as we've already brought to listeners, when the MPP caucus came to the chamber, in fact, Frank Anodon, as he registered, he was first to enter the chamber. He hesitated for them to sweep, as he mentioned. And then he went back after sweeping to occupy
the majority side.
The majority side. Then the NDC caucus members filed in, and they also went to join him. So for the first time in Parliament, there was no NDC, there was no MPP by certain arrangement. They were all group of members of Parliament who had come together to foresee the progress of the country, Ghana.
And who believe that they constitute the majority.
Yeah, they were all majority. So that's the unity government that we've all been yearning for. Yes. So they were there for a while. And Speaker can actually take his time to do some of these things. On Thursday, he took his time. He almost took the whole day. He actually came after 4 p.m. to make the announcement that resulted in a power shift.
Right.
Today, so the pre-sitting meeting, subsequently, Alexander Kwame Afenyo-Markin, Frank Anodon-Pre, Patricia PJ. In fact, the very first person to enter the meeting from the MPP side is the Assam Central MP, Kennedy Ohene Japon, and one-time flag bearer aspirant of the party. So he went in there, and he's a senior member of Parliament. So he could not have been driven away, even though he doesn't have any leadership role to play. So he was there, at least holding forth for the interests of the NPP. And then subsequently, Alexander Kwame Afenyo-Markin and the other members of the leadership of the NPP entered. It took a while, like I said, almost an hour. And then
that's with the pre-sitting meeting.
The pre-sitting meeting, yes. And so then the majority, the MPP caucus, after exiting this engagement, of course, I engaged Alexander Kwame Afenyo-Markin, I engaged Frank Anodon-Pre as well, who told us what Speaker had told them. The Speaker said he was just going to do a simple thing. He had an announcement to make. After the announcement, he was going to adjourn sitting. Obviously, they disagreed with that position that the Speaker espoused. But subsequently, when the Speaker took the seat, that's exactly what happened. First, acknowledgement of the processes that have been served on him from the Supreme Court, the Supreme Court ruling. Good. And then going ahead to, so first of all, there was a prayer, which never changes. And there was correction of votes and proceeding. That was quite interesting. The NDC caucus insisted that what transpired on Thursday, and mind you, these were the same processes that were sent to court and I'm talking about the vote of proceedings,
right,
for which somebody has been queried, because it's today that the House sat and corrected the vote of proceedings. So it is today that we can say that has become an official report of Parliament. Not when it was taken to court. So whoever made that available, the Speaker, and for that matter, Parliament, has queried the person for answers. And so the Speaker then said, we don't have a quorum to take a decision, but we have a quorum to start business. Quorum to start business is 1/3.
Right.
1/3 of all the members of Parliament.
And he based that on Article 102.
Exactly.
That's a quorum, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And then we also have quorum for decision making. And that is at least half of all members of Parliament present and voting. If NDC had been able to get all 136 members of Parliament,
the decision would have been taken.
Then Speaker would not have had an excuse to say that the House does not have a quorum for decision taking. Okay. Because as it stands now, until any other body declares otherwise, the 4 seats have been declared vacant as far as Parliament is concerned. So the NPP will then have 135 members of Parliament, NDC 136. Now 136 out of 271 will mean that you have more than half. Mind you, the House now, of course, before the Speaker's decision, had 275 members of Parliament. 4 of them have been booted out. So now the total members of Parliament, until otherwise decided or determined, is 271.
71.
Out of that, NDC has 136.
Right.
That will be more than half. So if a decision is to be taken, and all of them are present, that can be done. But today, not all NDC MPs were present in the chamber. But instructively and interestingly, the roll call was not taken. The roll call is where they mention your name. Tutuwaa, Vanessa, Tutuwaa, Danso. And once they mention your name, you are expected to respond as the Member of Parliament for EIB. After which the Speaker will make a firm determination as to how many of you are present and how many of you are absent. And so subsequently, you hear Alexander Kwame Afenyomarkin talk about the fact that the Speaker did not even take roll call to be able to tell whether the House was properly constituted by way of numbers or not. And so what Speaker is saying is that a lot of water has gone under the bridge. Public interest in happenings in Parliament well heightened. He will have to adjourn sitting indefinitely.
Okay, I would want us to take a listen to the Speaker when he was making that pronouncement.
In view of the current circumstances, the fact that there is a question on the composition and constitution of Parliament, and having regard to the public interest and the exigencies of the state of affairs in Parliament, I will proceed to, in accordance with Standing Orders 59, adjourn the House indefinitely. That is sine die. I want to quote Standing Orders 59:1. It says, the Speaker may, in consultation with leadership, suspend a meeting of the House indefinitely or for a period determined by the Speaker, having regard to the public interest and the exigencies of the state of affairs in the country. Honorable members, I have consulted leadership, and I am exercising my discretion to decide to suspend the meeting of the House indefinitely. The House is accordingly adjourned sine die.
That was the Speaker there declaring that the House had been adjourned indefinitely, and in parliamentary terms, sine die, right?
Sine die, yeah.
Right. Let's talk about a new development that we are seeing now.
Yes.
We all knew, as you indicated, that 4 of the seats had been declared vacant, and so there was that vacancy, which means that the numbers in Parliament is now 271, right?
Yes.
But we are seeing posts about Cynthia rescinding her decision to go independent. I mean, Cynthia Morrison and Kodjo Asante of Suhum also rescinding his decision to go independent. What more do we know about that?
Well, so yes, that's a fact. In fact, what we saw today in Parliament name that even though he's not a leader of parliament, he was involved in the pre-sitting meeting with the speaker. Another involvement that Kennedy Japan had to engage in was to get Cynthia Morrison, the member of parliament for Agona West, to come to parliament. And so she did. For the first time since MPs returned from the break, she came to parliament. There were engagements, of course, spearheaded by the Assistant Central MP, Kennedy Ohene Japan. They are very close. In fact, I dare tell you that when Kennedy Japan was contesting to be Bearer, there were a few members of parliament who supported him. Cynthia Morrison is one of them.
Okay.
So what we understand is that despite the fact that the EC has published the notice of poll, and indeed Cynthia Morrison has filed as an independent candidate for Agona West, she doesn't intend pushing forward her ambition to enter the 9th Parliament as an independent candidate. Yes, they could talk about the legal processes as to what this means for the declaration of the seats as vacant and what have you. But as it stands now, that's her decision. It doesn't end there. Kodjo Asante, like I said, if these two especially had not taken the decision they took to go independent and proceed to file their nominations with the EC, we will not be here. We will not be here.
But they made their decisions official.
Exactly. And then now they are all walking back on that decision.
Okay.
Let's see what the days that will come will hold for this particular.
Very interesting. Thank you very much. Ibrahim Alasan is our parliamentary affairs correspondent. We're trying to have a conversation on the back of that, but we'll bring you that shortly. But let's still stay on this development because Justice Amadou Tanko, a Supreme Court judge and director of the Judicial Training Institute, has called on Superior Court justices to stay focused and not worry about happenings in parts of the country, including Parliament. In a cryptic message during a day's workshop on the Insurance Act for High Court judges in Accra, he stated, no matter what happens, the courts will have their say. Let's go back to our earlier story and have a conversation on the back of this development. And joining us is the NPP caucus, Dodoma East MP, Paul Chumberima. Thank you very much for your time this evening, Honorable. First of all, what do you make of the happenings in Parliament?
Thank you very much, Tutuwaa, and good evening to your listeners. Clearly, what is happening in Parliament is not a good sign for us, and it is important that we all speak against it. The media speak against it, civil society speaks against it. Every citizen has to make his voice known because clearly, we may end up bastardizing our own institutions and then come back saying that they are not doing well. The Supreme Court is the highest decision making body in terms of our constitutional matters. They have made a decision. They have made a pronouncement. We expect Parliament to obey. For Parliament to ignore it, for Parliament to make as if nothing like that has happened, it's totally unacceptable.
Would you say that your walkout was justified?
But clearly, if we have sat there, we are going to participate in unconstitutionality. Because the Supreme Court has made pronouncements. We expect the Speaker of Parliament to follow and enforce those orders. But clearly, the Speaker didn't enforce those orders. So what were we going to sit there for? To support unconstitutionality? I mean, that would be quite absurd because when it comes to the NPP, we believe in the law working. We believe that everything must be according to the Constitution. So for us to be participating in that would not be unfair, and to be very uncalled for on our side.
See,
and
now
so the leader saying that no, we will not be part of this was right.
Okay. Now, also, we have seen photos making rounds of Cynthia Mamili Morrison and Kodjo Asante, the MPs for Agona West and Danso, whom respectively rescinding their decision. Can you really confirm that?
Yes, I can confirm to you that Cynthia Mamili Morrison had a meeting with the leader, majority leader, Honorable Afenyo Markin, the member of Parliament for Assistant Central, Honorable Kennedy Japan, and other parties towards. And they have had a very good discussions, and Honorable Cynthia Mamili has confirmed and has reassured Ghanaians of his membership as a new patriotic party member, and therefore there's no qualms about that.
Okay, so what is next for the party? I mean, in the wake of this development, what next for the party?
Clearly, I mean, Parliament must come out. We have to recall Parliament for us to prosecute government business, and I think our standing orders and the Constitution give us that leeway that we can recall Parliament for certain numbers to sign, and then we come back to prosecute government members. So
how soon do you want to recall Parliament?
But I'm sure the leadership will come up with a communique very soon to inform the public when it wants us to tell them.
But have you been gathering signatories already?
As we speak, no, there's nothing like that. But I'm sure very soon, when all the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted, we are going to make sure that is done. I'm sure that leadership is going to make sure that is done.
Thank you very much for speaking to us. I've been engaging Paul Chumberima. He's the Doma East MP, and he is with the NPP caucus in Parliament. But let's go back to our earlier story, where Justice Amadou Tanko, a Supreme Court judge, is saying that no matter what happens, the court will have its say in the ongoing impasse between the legislature and judiciary. Take a listen to him.
To acknowledge me when I entered, I've written your names. Now, I'm delivering this address, which in the course of it may seem as an insurance lecture. On my personal behalf, as a Justice of the Supreme Court, a faculty member of the Judicial Training Institute, and also on behalf of the Honorable Lady Chief Justice. If you find it a little verbose, you pardon me. But I can assure you that the delivery may engage you, and you will not be concerned with happenings in other parts of the city. Whether they like it or not, they will come back to us.
You just heard there Justice Amadou Tanko. He is a Supreme Court judge and a director of the Judicial Training Institute speaking there. You are still listening to Starr today. We have more stories for you after this break. Don't go away.
Introduce free SHS on the whimsical promise of a desperate politician. Many mistakes have been made by countries in Africa already with free SHS.
Akufado, minya wedienye, uye bwe, bawumia, minya wedienye, uye bwe.
Hey, Mami Jamefua, why are you so excited this hot afternoon?
My sister, when I remember what free SHS has done for me and my children, I can't help but be happy for what Nanado and Dr. Bawumia have done. You remember when I lost my husband who was the breadwinner?
Yes, I remember very well.
There was no hope for my 3 children to go to school until Nanado and Dr. Bawumia introduced free SHS. Now my children, Kofi, Esi, and Kodjo, attend all these big schools. In fact, do you know they are saying they want to review it? That's one. Some of their people are saying that they should cancel. Others too are saying they should make some people pay the fees.
Hey, they want to do their thing again. Who is going to pay and who will be going for free? They want to push we the poor people aside and start using their connection men and protocol to access the free SHS life-changing policy.
That is why we have to do everything in our civil rights to make sure they don't come and spoil this good thing for us.
This free SHS policy that Mahama and his people said is not possible. But now see,
it is possible. This year, we are voting to protect the free SHS. Vote Dr. Bawumia, number 1 on the ballot.
Accra gets ready for the ultimate sporting event of the year. Starr 103.5 FM, your number 1 radio station, presents the Starr FM 10 Diplomatic Games.
On Saturday, 26th of October, the world's top diplomats gather for a friendly competition like no other in Accra, Ghana, under the theme Breast Cancer Awareness. Feel it, Find it, fight it, and remember, there will be free breast cancer screening.
The venue is the American International School Sports Complex, East Legon, Accra. Time, 8 a.m. prompt. The dress code is sporty pink. Activities of the day include
soccer, volleyball, tennis, obstacle race, indoor games, and more.
Who takes home the gold? Look out for our colorful and exciting children's corner. Join us live at the Diplomatic Games with commentary from your favorite Star FM hosts. Don't miss the action at the Star FM 10 Diplomatic Games on Saturday, October 26, 2024 at the AIS Sports Complex, East Legon. Remember, attendance is absolutely free, but registration is compulsory.
Visit www.starfm.com.gh to register for free. This event is in partnership with American International School and supported by Sahara Rise Hospitality, Accra Medical Center.
Charlie, this year's elections, I am really confused. I don't know who to vote for.
Why don't you know who to vote for? Let's listen to one policy JDM says he's going to implement when he's voted.
I think so NDC ban. They be in Juman kitten. My person branch executive na di omo be gym. Say akoko na person share poultry farm ketwe bi near mao akoko bono near ton koko na mao near mao eduane a wo de beto eduane ama sika wo de beto eduane ama.
But why are you laughing? My guy, relax. So this is the reason he wants us to vote for him? Oh, the man hasn't changed one bit. Same old dead goat. Now let's listen to one of the many policies Dr. Bawumia has for the youth.
Jobs would be my major focus. Now, me be training 1 million youth in digital skills.
And see, that's not all. Apart from that, he's going to set up SME Bank to enable SMEs expand, to create jobs for the youth, and also increase demand with the buy now, pay small policy, which is the credit scoring system.
Oh, really?
That's not all. Let me give you the last one. He says he's going to introduce Buy Ghana First policy to boost local businesses to help them expand and employ more youth.
Wow. Now, I know who I'm voting for come December 7th. Dr. Bawumia, you have my vote.
Yes, so these are but a few of DMB's bold solutions for the youth when he's voted into power come December 7th. I've changed my mind. I'm not voting for JDM anymore. I'll vote for the bold solutions man, Dr. Bawumia. Great decision, my brother. This year, Dr. Bawumia's vote, yem fan cheche.
And
Vote Dr. Bawumia, number 1 on the ballot.
Starr today, first, fast, and credible.
You're welcome back from that break. This is still Starr today here on Starr FM. I am Tutuwaa Danso. Let's move on to one of our headline stories this evening, because the National Council of Parent Teachers Association is urging Ghana Education Service and the Free SHS Secretariat to come clear on reporting dates for first-year students. According to them, the timelines are frustrating and worrying. Now, this comes after the Ghana Education Service directed all first-year students to report on October 30, 2024, after the West African Examination Council released provisional results of the Basic Education Certificate Examination. Let's go over the phone line so I have a conversation with Deputy PRO of the National Council of Parent Teachers Association of Ghana, Irene Sam. Well, rather, let's take a listen to her in an earlier interview.
It is very, very frustrating and very, very worrying to see that things are happening this way. Parents are not given ample time to even prepare. And to add to that too, we as a council, we are not privy to anything that has been going on. There, they put a calendar on the platform, other platform, then we already get to know a bit. Now, they just released the results during the weekend, and then we are yet to have the placement done. And then they say this report on 30th. I don't know what kind of report are they to report on 30th. Is it the day they are going to take their prospectus or whatever? And then they will set a date for them to finally report to school or what. All these issues have not been cleared with us, and we are feeling that we are not clear with all these things. It's like things are just done anyway, anyhow. And this is about education here. And we will say that education should be handled professionally. But we are not seeing such things happening. Everything is just happening. And we as a council, we are not happy about it. Our members have been calling on us every now and then. taking classification. That we don't have the answers to give to them. The position that we find ourselves in now, we don't have any input to this time of things that is happening. So I would say that it's very, very frustrating. So we just call upon GES management to come again. They should please come again. Let us know our way out. We are pleading with them.
Irene Sam is the Deputy PRO of the National Council of Parent Teachers Association of Ghana. We are trying to have a conversation with her on the back of that, but unfortunately, the phone lines are not in our favor this evening. But we're bringing that conversation subsequently. Away from education, let's do mining now, because the Small Scale Miners Association has endorsed the approach of the National Democratic Congress in the fight against illegal mining. Now, this follows a pledge by the party's Small Scale Mining Campaign Committee to promote responsible mining when elected into power. During a community engagement in Mansu Edubia and its surrounding areas in the Ashanti region, President of the Small Scale Miners, Michael Kodjo, explained that the policy presented by the NDC will help in responsible mining. Ashanti Regional Correspondent Justice Bediako has the details in this report.
Ahead of the December 7, 2024 presidential and parliamentary polls, the National Democratic Congress has intensified its campaign activities in mining sites across all the mining districts to canvass for votes. On Monday, October 21, 2024, the NDC campaign team stormed various mining sites in Manso Adubia in the Ashanti region. The party used the opportunity to engage miners to explain the NDC's mining manifesto policies in detail. Addressing the miners, member of the NDC Small Scale Mining Campaign Committee, Samuel Hadjo, dismissed claims made by the New Patriotic Party that the NDC intends to ban both legal and illegal small-scale mining operations. He emphasized that these rumors are false and reassured miners of the NDC's dedication to safeguarding their livelihoods while ensuring environmental protection.
There are rumors going around that NDC is coming to ban small-scale mining. That is not true. NDC is not banning small-scale mining. What NDC is planning to do is that we're coming to make sure that the small-scale mining team or the small-scale mining ongoing are being done well. We want to make sure that whoever has a license that is permitted to do small-scale mining is doing it responsibly. So we make sure we give them the necessary training, give them the necessary technical expertise, and make sure they do it properly.
President of the National Concerned Small-Scale Miners Association of Ghana, Michael Kodjo, affirmed his support for the NDC during the tour. He criticized the current government for what he described as a failure to address the challenges faced by small-scale miners.
Government does not have any goodwill in trying to resolve or solve the problems small-scale miners face. We have gone through both manifestos, but we can easily confirm and say that the manifesto of NDC is what can resolve the problem. So what we are saying is that we need a change, and a change that would help bring about the responsible mining in this country.
Some of the miners, after listening to the NDC campaign team, had this to say.
NDC but MPP bar power no and my jumani na echo from a juma say cry the ebedi cry no na yeden but nyina no me stress small scale mining for nyina so biambo no homo dena no yeden na adane dura yento abanoma NDC
for nhye ne ye timi say small scales no ba safety protocols no be yeduma afi so ma wo say ensu no mo de hye bia ba say o ma be create dam bia maye a be ensu no say utu anu a o hwe site ana esa return ya dam and esa return sa akoba ahanye stream na rivers nye na yese no ana uti o manifesto na utumi say no sa procedure on be follow ntino antis for no manifesto Jesus no be boaye.
Meanwhile, flag bearer of the governing New Patriotic Party, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, is urging the people of Adaklu constituency to vote for him in the December polls as the area gets more development under their regime than the opposition NDC, enumerating the projects initiated by the NPP administration in that area. At a meeting with traditional rulers, clergy, and other stakeholders, Bawumia stressed that the opposition has not been able to develop the area despite being in government for 16 years.
What about drinking water to Adaklu? We have built a youth resource center, a stadium here in Adaklu. We have brought a district police command here to Adaklu in Waya. We have built a magistrate court, just as we've done in every district. We have built a magistrate court with a bungalow. We are building an Agenda 111 hospital right here in Adaklu. So this tells you our philosophy in economic development. The roads, when the NDC was in government for 16 years, they didn't build a road for you. But we are making a lot of effort in many, many areas. So we believe that Adaklu will do better under the MPP and under Dr. Bawumia, because we have shown what we can do.
Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia is the flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party. Away from politics, now small and medium enterprises in Ghana are being urged to embrace digitization regardless of their size. Speaking at the launch of a new WhatsApp wholesale platform, Salome Pepena, the Chief Executive Officer of Eloquent Marketing Agency, stressed the importance of digital innovation for SMEs, particularly in fast-moving consumer goods and e-commerce sectors.
WhatsApp Wholesale is the ultimate solution for businesses looking to connect with their audience like never before. Whether you're a startup or a corporate brand, WhatsApp Wholesale allows you to send personalized marketing campaigns, provide real-time customer support, and engage clients seamlessly.
On that business note, we take a breather right here, but we are back with more stories, and Campaign Trail is also being featured heavily on this broadcast. Don't go away.
Honestly, the cost of dialysis is an impossible burden to carry. Ever since this kidney failure diagnosis, we spend over 1,200 cedis every week. I keep asking if there's no intervention for persons suffering from chronic illnesses in society. Considering all these economic hardships, isn't the government thinking of us? Aren't they? Is the NPP government saying they can't do anything about this? Grandpa, I can't lose you, Grandpa.
A nation that doesn't care for its sick is herself sick. Ama's painful story is one of what many Ghanaians are going through today. But there is hope for Ghanaians under the next NDC government. John Mahama will create the Mahama Cares Fund to support the cost of treatment of people suffering chronic illnesses such as kidney failure, cancer, diabetes, sickle cell, hypertension, and other heart diseases. Ghanaians can access free health care at CHIPS compounds, health centers, clinics, and polyclinics, whether or not they have NHIS cards. These interventions will be major sources of relief for the millions of Ghanaians who are suffering from these chronic diseases and are often left to their own fates. Indeed, Mahama cares. Vote for change. Vote for John Mahama and the NDC. Accra gets ready for the ultimate sporting event of the year. Starr 103.5 FM, your number one radio station, presents the Starr FM 10 Diplomatic Games.
On Saturday, 26th of October, the world's top diplomats gather for a friendly competition like no other in Accra, Ghana, under the theme Breast Cancer Awareness. Feel it, find it, fight it, and remember, there will be free breast cancer screening.
The venue is the American International School Sports Complex, East Legon, Accra. Time 8 a.m. prompt. The dress code is sporty pink. Activities of the day include
soccer, volleyball, tennis, obstacle race, indoor games, and more.
Who takes home the gold? Look out for our colorful and exciting children's corner. Join us live at the Diplomatic Games with commentary from your favorite Starr FM hosts. Don't miss the action at the Starr FM 10 Diplomatic Games on Saturday, October 26, 2024 at the AIS Sports Complex, East Legon. Remember, attendance is absolutely free, but registration is compulsory.
Visit www.starfm.com.gh to register for free. This event is in partnership with American International School and supported by Sahara Rise Hospitality, Accra Medical Center.
I'm saying that Ghana must not introduce free SHS on the whimsical promise of a desperate politician. Many mistakes have been made by countries in Africa already with free SHS.
Akufado, minya wedienye, uye bwe, Bawumia, minya Hey, Mommy Jane Fua, why are you so excited this hot afternoon?
My sister, when I remember what Free SHS has done for me and my children, I can't help but be happy for what Nanado and Dr. Baumia have done. You remember when I lost my husband who was the breadwinner?
Yes, I remember very well.
There was no hope for my 3 children to go to school until Nanado and Dr. Baumia introduced Free SHS. Now my children, Kofi, Esi, and Kodjo, attend all these big schools. In fact, do you know they are saying they want to review it? That's one. Some of their people are saying that they should cancel. Others too are saying they should make some people pay the fees.
Hey, they want to do their thing again. Who is going to pay and who will be going for free? They want to push we the poor people aside and start using their connection men and protocol to access the Free SHS life-changing policy.
That is why we have to do everything in our civil rights to make sure they don't come and spoil this good thing for us.
This Free SHS policy that Mahama and his people said is not possible, but now see,
it is possible. This year, we are voting to protect the Free SHS. Vote Dr. Baumia, number 1 on the ballot. Charlie, this year's elections, I am really confused. I don't know who to vote for.
Why don't you know who to vote for? Let's listen to one policy JDM says he's going to implement when he's voted.
I feel so NDC ban. They be bien Juman kitten. My person branch executive na di omo bejim. Say akoko na person share poultry farm ketu bi near mao akoko bono near ton koko na mao near mao eduane a wo de beto eduane sika a wo de beto eduane ama.
But why are you laughing? My guy, relax. So this is the reason he wants us to vote for him? Oh, the man hasn't changed one bit. Same old dead goat. Now let's listen to one of the many policies Dr. Baumia has for the youth.
Jobs will be my major focus. Now, me be training 1 million youth in digital skills.
And see, that's not all. Apart from that, he's going to set up SME Bank to enable SMEs expand, to create jobs for the youth, and also increase demand with the buy now, pay small policy, which is the credit scoring system.
Oh, really?
That's not all, let me give you the last one. He says he's going to introduce Buy Ghana First policy to boost local businesses to help them expand and employ more youth.
Wow. Now, I know who I'm voting for come December 7th. Dr. Baumia, you have my vote.
Yes, so these are but a few of DMB's bold solutions for the youth when he's voted into power come December 7th. I've changed my mind. I'm not voting for JDM anymore. I'll vote for the bold solutions man, Dr. Baumia. Great decision, my brother. This year, Dr. Baumia's vote, vote Dr. Baumia, number 1 on the ballot.
Today, first, fast, and credible.
You're welcome back from the break. This is still Starr today here on Starr FM. Up next on the broadcast is sports, and Chris is here with a sports update. Chris, good evening.
Good evening, Vanessa. Now, chairman for Ghana's national beach soccer team, the Black Sharks, Yao Ampo Hankra, has voiced out following the team's early exit from the ongoing AFCON beach soccer tournament in Egypt. Now, speaking on the game, Yao highlighted that the team's inadequate preparations and lack of financial support somehow impacted their performance.
The buck falls with me, and I have to take full responsibility for that. I've said it. If it goes well, we'll get a lot of congratulatory messages. If it doesn't, I have to also accept that we haven't done our best, and I haven't done my best as the chairman. Well, what more could I have done? Well, perhaps in the absence of the no money syndrome, and we're not ready, to release funds, or funds are being processed. In the absence of that, I would have had to look for corporate support, or perhaps dig into my own pockets and pre-finance. But this is a national team, and this comes back to this same subject that we've been going on for years.
Now, meanwhile, Yao Ampo for Ankara also revealed that the Black Sharks team received no incentives or per diems before their journey to Egypt for the tournament.
And sometimes I'm accused of giving out too much information, but if there's a truth to be told and you don't say it, then it's a lie. So I can't lie to you. You've asked the question, and the answer is no. I mean, as a chairman, I don't know what the per diem is. I don't know what the players will get. And I'm sure this might come as a surprise to you, but this is a reality that we face. And there's a very thin line between pushing, lobbying, and literally begging and pleading for what the boys deserve. But all of this, we've told them to look to think about the games, to focus.
Now, that's all for sports. Back to you, Vanessa.
Thank you very much, Chris, for the sports update. Up next on the broadcast is the campaign trail. This is your Simply the Best 103.5 FM, and EIB remains your 2024 election hub. I'm proud and happy to take you officially on the campaign trail. It is some 6 minutes to the hour 6. And some 45 days to election 2024. Now, my guest this evening is a young politician who in 2020 decided to fill the rather large shoes left behind by his predecessor. Some doubted his capabilities, but then I'm sure the verdict lies in the womb of time. His journey to represent his people didn't come easy, as it took the grace of God for him to survive armed attacks on him which he believed were targeted and not random attacks. Earlier today, he, together with some 136 NDC MPs, decided to occupy the majority side of the House, despite a Supreme Court ruling staying last Thursday Speaker Bagben's decision to declare some parliamentary seats vacant. If you are listening to us from Keta and its environs, your MP has taken his seat in the studios. My guest, Kwame Jujoli Gakpe, is Member of Parliament for the Keta constituency. The man who ensured one of the NDC's World Banks recorded over 80% victory for the NDC flag bearer, John Dramani Mahama, in the 2020 polls. Can he better that result during this year's elections? Remember that we are live on Facebook on Starr 103.5 FM. You can also send us your WhatsApp messages with your questions on 055 288 0216. Again, it is 055 288 0216. This is your campaign trail. You're welcome once again to the campaign trail, and my guest is seated, Kwame Jujoli Gakpe. What is the meaning of your name? Jujoli especially.
Jujoli, you must always know that one day there will be arrest. You will be arrested.
One day there will be arrest.
Yes.
So would there be arrest for the NDC in all of this scuffle in Parliament to be on the majority side?
Definitely. And when we are talking about arresting, it's everlasting arrest we are talking about. Jujoli. So it's reminding you. And Gakpa mean precious stone or money stone.
Okay. But let's stay a bit in Parliament and talk about what happened. First of all, let me take your impressions on the Speaker's decision to suspend Parliament indefinitely.
You see, the Speaker is a man of wisdom, and he has been in Parliament, he has seen all. There is nothing that he have occupied all the positions before. Mm-hmm. So his decision is the best for the country at the moment.
What makes it the best decision?
The best decision is that, after ruling, and the Supreme Court, came in. Mm-hmm. And then at the end of the day, it's like a battle between the Parliament as well as Supreme Court. Mm-hmm. So, he's had Wales Council, and he decided to adjourn indefinitely the Parliament. Is the best, so that everybody will go home, relax, go and think, and then we see who and think about the whole thing, and then if they need be to come back. And then our standing orders are clear. Mm-hmm. You only need about 15% of members of Parliament to sign, and recall Parliament. So that one is not an issue.
Okay.
But where we are, you know that we are getting closer to the campaign. And then this is the time you're supposed to perform parliamentary business, where they themselves have lined up in terms of approval of some 2 Supreme Court judges, and then in terms of some tax waivers they are looking for, in terms of some bills they want us to work on. And so based on this, you weigh the scale. On the scale, I mean, they have lost all.
The NPP has lost everything.
Yes, for now, because time is not on our side. And then the government business suffered. So who suffered? So now the Supreme Court have no locus to even, you can't call Parliament. You can't call, Parliament back to come and do it well. They don't have that locus.
Okay.
And the locus they have, that is what they have exercised.
Okay.
And then the Speaker have also exercised his powers on the floor.
Let me hold you on for a second and just give my audience this breaking news, because we understand that majority MPs are yet to file a notice tomorrow asking Speaker Bagman to recall MPs from recess. And this follows the indefinite adjournment announced by the Speaker earlier today. This is according to Richard de la Sky. We also understand that there are indications that the NPP MPs are planning to recall Parliament tomorrow. Will you
so if you want to recall Parliament, it's not immediately.
But will you support that recall?
It's their democratic right they're supposed to do. It's like, those are tools available for MPs.
I know those are democratic rights, but will the NDC support that recall?
At that one, I will wait on our leadership.
Okay.
It's basic. It's simple. And then they have every right to call Parliament. They have to write and sign, and then based on that, 7 days, and then the Speaker will wait maybe 14 days and recall. By that time, we're supposed to rise on the first week of November, which is 7th. So are you getting the point? So taking us through that process by the end of the day, the time is gone. And then most of the things they wanted to do, they will not have time to do them. So they have shot themselves.
Okay, now let's talk about, let's stay in Parliament. Now, following last Thursday's pronouncements by the Speaker, you people say it's not a ruling. So following last Thursday's pronouncement by the Speaker, one of the things we saw on social media was the fact that the NDC was going to scrap off the e-levy, the betting tax. What informed that decision?
Parliament is about numbers.
But you didn't have the numbers to do that, did you?
At that moment when the Speaker declared the 4-seat vacant, we have the numbers. We have the numbers. Why are we not having the numbers?
All the 136 MPs are going to be present.
Yeah, but technically, in terms of decision, I must be truthful to you. And then, forming a quorum, 1/3 of Parliament will form a quorum. When it comes to decision, 2/3 of Parliament have to take a decision. And then basically, we don't have that numbers. So if people are saying that e-levy and all that, it's maybe people who are putting it up that those are their needs. And that's what is in our manifesto we are going to scrap.
But we had some NDC stalwarts, voice out those plans that the e-levy will be scrapped.
Are they members of Parliament?
They are not members of Parliament.
So, people can...
So they just said that to excite the party
members?
No,
if they said it, fine, but they are not members of Parliament because we have the standing order to operate with. So if a non-MP is talking, fine, so be it. But this is the rules are there in the standing order. We follow through.
Okay. Let me come to your constituency now.
Yeah.
How has it been being a first-time MP for one of the World Banks or the World Bank of the NDC?
The beginning wasn't easy. I've worked in public health, Ministry of Health, for 16 good years. Okay. Before I joined Parliament. And then when we started in 2020, and then 2020, the election, and then till to the end of the election accident, I had some accident, robbery attacks about 5 times. In 2021, I had 4, 2021. So that was scary. I was so scared, but I just told myself, a man is born to die at once. So if God's favor is in you have God's favor, nothing will happen to you.
You are willing to take the risk?
Yes, because this world is full of risks. The higher the risk, the sweeter the victory. It's simpler, and only your faith can deliver you. So if you had faith in God, well, and the scripture says, fear not, because fear is a sin. So why would I fear? Because I have that faith. So for me, I was not detailed about that. And they do where.
But I mean, do you think it was politically motivated?
Yes, it was politically motivated because as I speak to you, the last attack, about 6 people are in prison for 20 years each.
Okay.
And then we have some MPP communication, social media handlers. One of them was Pat. So, I mean, why wouldn't I link it to politics? And then I'm a political exposed person. So, these are some of the things that happen. So, basically, life, these things will come. So, but coming to Parliament, to be truthful to you, it was challenging, especially I'm the first MP from Keta constituency who came to Parliament in opposition. First, some will come during maybe government, NDC will be in power. At the end of the day, maybe they move to opposition. Are you getting the point? But right from the scratch, I was not lucky, and I came at a time where I moved straight to opposition. It hasn't been easy. And being opposition MP, it hasn't been easy. You know, these Ghanaian.
How difficult has it been?
Very difficult, because if you advocate, you lobby for your people, the people you are going to Parliament. And then one thing I have seen also is that because our municipal and executive chief executives are not being elected, so they have taken, and then they have taken the work that they're supposed to do. They put all those works on MP.
Okay.
Because it's not a duty of NP to construct road, to construct market.
But when you go out campaigning, you promise your constituents those things.
Yeah,
to
you
give
promise
them
promise based on point that when your government is in power, you'll be able to get those things for them. And then you always
So you
campaign.
should tell them.
Yes, you always have to campaign on the party manifesto also. Are you getting the point? So MPs have, the interventions are supposed to be emergency intervention. But at the end of the day, even MPs are performing more than even some of the assembly. For instance, in Keta, for the 8 years, I don't know what I can pinpoint that these people for the 8 years they are able to do, because they can't even construct a single road in Keta in Anglo Enclave. The Keta port they promise, as I speak to you, when you go there, it's 40-footer containers that are there. Even during this election coming, they came to do, they said they are building administrative block, but who there? The contractor, came to site for 2 weeks, and then nothing is going on. So for the 8 years, I can tell you on authority that common fund, when you look at the common fund, for instance, if they are sending common fund, government take common fund. A lot of people don't understand the concept. That's why I want to take my time and explain to people.
Okay.
Appreciate how common fund operates. When government take government takes the resources, they put it in the pool, which is 100%. So there is a formula. So government will take 95% and send 5% only to Common Fund Secretariat. And then out of that 5%, they also take the administrative resources from it and then distribute the rest to all metropolitan and district assemblies.
Okay.
And so when that money goes, so for instance, if they send 100 Ghana cedis to Keta, I'm only entitled to 5 cedis. They are entitled to 95 Ghana cedis. I'm entitled to only 5 cedis. And it is that 5 cedis. And MPs are not signatory to any account. Though they say it's common fund, it's still the assembly that, for instance, I want to pay school fees for people who have to put their name and the school that pays so and so amount to these schools for the following persons. So at the end of the day, I kickstart the process, and then the technocrats, I have to get approval from the chief executive, and then you go through the system. And when they are going to write the check, they will not write the check in the name. For instance, if I'm paying school fees for you, they will not write the check in your name. They will write it in the school name.
Okay.
I get it. So you are not even a signatory to anything. You only write officially, do this for me, do this for me.
Okay.
That's how Common Fund operates.
Okay. Kodjo Mensah has a number of questions he wants to ask you. But let me chip in briefly. I want to know the status of the phase 2 of the Ketsa sea defense.
Oh, the sea defense, nothing is happening after.
Nothing is happening.
Nothing after 2017 that NDC left power, where this guy is Amajaro, so it's an Italian, it's an Israeli company. They were doing the Qatar sea defense phase 2 of Blekusu, supposed to be continued. As I speak to you, nothing has happened.
Why?
And
Why? Have you tried to find out?
It's a politically motivated idea not to support the people of Qatar, especially voter region, because they claim, these guys may claim they don't get their vote from us. So,
but they are not lying.
They are not lying, yes. But are we not Ghanaians? Are we not contributing? Are we not paying tax? Are we not paying tax? Or we are not Ghanaians? We are paying tax. The levy they brought, am I not paying it? The people of voter region are paying it. And then the people of the voter region are not paying tax. Are they not importing and exporting? So what are we saying? I mean, is that what the Constitution says? I mean, the national cake should be equitably distributed for everybody. So if you deliberately, as a government, deliberately don't want to support people from voter region, why? And then during this crisis, nobody, even Baumia and the President Akufo-Addo, did not come to voter region to empathize with the people. No statement from them when we are in the distress in terms of dam spillage, in terms of tidal waves, in terms of rainfall. Nothing comes from them, even common empathy. We didn't receive in terms of rainfall. Nothing comes from them, even common empathy. We didn't receive from them. At the end of the day, the president came to Maple, stood up there and looked at our face and he insulted us. That
he insulted
yes, he insulted voter.
What did he say?
He said, if because of vote, if he's coming to voter, if it were because of vote, he would have come. But because he's a president, he's supposed to come. And when he came empty-handed. Nothing happened there. If no corporate body, and the businesses, individuals, and the former president, John Ramani Mahama and Ibrahim Mahama, our people would have been left in wilderness. The body that is thrown with the mandate to even intervene in terms of disaster, NADMO, they don't have resources. And then NADMO, what is NADMO? Now today, if you ask me, NADMO is just how do I even describe them? They don't have resources. They are not functioning. So Ghana, in terms of emergency, we don't have that rapid organization that will
respond. Okay.
No.
So is that the general feel that this administration has deliberately ignored voter?
Yes. You remember when they had preparing budget, you remember the whole region was cut off, was taken out of our budget. You remember the comments from NAPO. You remember that if they put 10 million Ghana cedis in the budget for feasibility study they are talking about in terms of the tidal wave they want to study, if they include you organize people of in Ashanti Kumasi to actually to demonstrate. These are clear. The evidence is there. It's not me who is saying it.
And what does the government gain from that?
It's only known to them. I will not say it. It's only known to them. So for us in the voter regime, technically, MPP have even no locus. And if you are Votarian or somebody from voter regime, you are following this party and rooting for him, you are doing injustice to the people of voter regime.
You know that Baumia is in Adaklu as we speak.
Yes.
I don't know if he's left, but
he's gone to Akachi also. Now. And he says voter has fallen to the MPP because the support he's garnering there is amazing.
He actually paints a different picture because he says that the MPP has rather done a lot more developmental projects in the voter region than the NDC.
I'm challenging everyone today. They should mention the project they have done. I'm challenging even in Keta and Anglo-Inclin. I dare them. They should tell me the project for 8 years. Even the Keta port, nothing is happening. See defense, nothing. Go and see the town roads in Keta, very deplorable. Meanwhile, Keta was once the capital of voter region. We are not being treated well. We are treated with disdain. So as for Baumia, those are high crowd. They give T-shirts to people, give them 500 Ghana.
You're saying they don't have organic support base?
No, they don't have organic support base. It's just a high artificial. Just to pretend.
Wait, you said they give them how much?
500 Ghana cedis.
Per head.
Per head, and then they give you T-shirt. I have evidence is right now. I can give to you. And then the people are coming out that they have taken the money, they are wearing the T-shirt, but they are not going to vote for them. NDC all the way. I can tell you on authority, this year, voter regime operation 95%. I'm saying it on authority. There is no way. It's the no-go zone for MPP. It won't happen.
Now, let's talk about Keta, because I listened to you earlier and you talked about the fact that in this 8 years, you've being a member of parliament for the area has been very difficult.
Not 8 years. I have been member of parliament for one term.
One term, yes. But you talk about the fact that being in opposition,
yes, very difficult.
It's been very difficult. And the MMDAs basically have not done any. There's nothing they can pinpoint in terms of developmental work in Keta. Yes. But what would be your legacy? In this term, yes. What have you done?
For being in opposition member of parliament with the small resources.
Can you get closer to the
I have done a lot. For instance, in terms of education, this is the work assembly is supposed to do. You know, the educational directors bungalow have been left to rot for 10 good years. Nobody care about it. They have to be committing from elsewhere, committing from other constituencies to come to them to cater to operate. So sometimes they operate 2 days, 3 days, and then he's gone. But with my intervention, I was able to renovate the whole bungalow for the educational director. As I speak to you, I have 400 people I'm paying school fees for, supporting them on my with my.
Then you are rich.
No, you know you must manage your resources well.
Right.
You must manage resources
because the common fund is little.
Yeah, it's little.
It's not adequate for you.
It's not adequate.
Yeah.
So, as for MPs, that is where if you are an MP, you don't have other source of funding, like doing any business, you suffer more. Because sometimes you end up using your personal resources. And also you must fall on NGOs that you know who can help also. So for me, the projects the projects I've done in Qatar through some NGO support, through personal support, through common fund, through friends and family. Those are the sources where I get my resources. So right now I speak to you, 400 people on scholarship where I'm paying tertiary, like nursing training, teacher training, Winneba, and then universities. That is why, you know, Winneba, sometimes their school fees about 1,500, and then some of them are 1,200. So you give 1,000, the person look for 200 and up. So we are doing that. As I speak to you, I have renovated several community AMA Zion School, 12-unit classroom, but personally, I have renovated that. I have renovated AMA Zion in Haveji. I have renovated that. I have worked with, I have wrote later and linked with Pencils of Promise. They are NGO who are into building school. The concept is that if the total project is 100%, you bear 20% with the community, and they bear 80%. I have wrote to them, and I have built a brand new school, a 4-unit classroom block with auxiliary facilities in RC, Anyako RC, as I speak to you. The old building, which was 3-unit classroom, was also renovated. And then we staff that with the desks, as well as we provide the children with what we call e-tablet. You know, in terms of digitalization, e-tablet have storybooks on it for the children to learn, and we finished there. We did the same in Anglo Efia by EP, brand new 4-unit classroom block with auxiliary facility, as I speak to you. And that is education. Even the educational directorate of Qatar, I have to be supporting the municipal because the government is not giving them resources. So I'll be supporting them in terms of their monitoring, in terms of distribution of the exam papers, in terms of I'll be supporting them in that cause also. These are 8 years in opposition. I'm talking about education. Let's come to health, because I'm very health biased, because if you health
because
is
you
wealth.
worked in the health
yes,
sector.
Health is wealth. If you don't have, if you are not well, you can't even go anywhere. You can't go to school, you can't work. So under health, the municipal health directorate was left. The Deplorable state. I have renovated that place at the cost of 100,000 Ghana cedis. In addition to that, I have provided some donated air conditioning to the theater of Qatar Government Hospital. As I speak to you, I have renovated maternity, Anyako maternity, where our women give birth. But it's not nice, it's not conducive. You know, when you are going to hospital, one of the concepts is that the ambience of the environment must also influence you. If you are going to hospital and the place is so dirty, it's like, I mean, when even going there psychologically, you can't get the delivery.
It's not welcoming enough.
It's not welcoming. But if the place is nice, even going alone, the perception and the psychologically, you are a little bit getting the cure. So where they deliver matters. So I have to renovate that place. When you go to KG, I have renovated the maternity, furnished it so that our women can deliver there. And in addition to that, when it comes to screening, I never knew until I started screening about eye. Do you know the cost of eye surgery in Ghana now? You will not pay less than 5,000 Ghana cedis. I have screened 15,000 people of my constituents, and then some have been given medication. Glaucoma, the medication is about 500 Ghana. We have provided reading glass. But for the 4 years, as I speak to you, we have performed surgery, eye surgery for 1,500 people. Multiply it by 500, 5,000. 1,500 people who are blind for 5 years, 10 years with cataract and pterygium, we are able to perform surgery for them. And now
1,500
1,500.
And all of this in 4 years?
Yes, in 4 years. And then this was supported by NGO called Friends Eye Center, and then Lifetime World Vision from US. And then it's a partnership. When the NGOs come, they will do their work, but the accommodation, food, some medications are all boiled down to you, the one who invited them. And then we have been doing this religiously every year. And the people are happy. When we come to Qatar, the people who are not seeing are seeing now They are happy. Yesterday I was in Sashima. After my campaign, this woman was saying, yes, because of him, I'm able to see now. Because of him, I'm able to see. That is fulfillment. It's good. Compassion. You must become towards your people. So that alone is making a lot of massive impact on the people, because if you don't have eye, you can't do anything.
Absolutely.
So you can multiply that, and then people, women are in my constituency. Fibroid cases are a lot. I brought NGO to take care of 65 people. I perform surgery for them. Fibroid. Today, if you want to do fibroid case, you spend all of that 10,000 to 15,000. But 65 have been taken care of for these 4 years, free, without a dime. As I speak to hernia, we have done 50 hernia. And then pediatric care, children are born, they have some deformity about their organs.
Yeah.
So I brought in pediatric surgeon to come and correct that deformity for the children. That deformity will cost you not less than 20,000 to 25,000. 45 of these children benefited, free. And these are in opposite 4 years that I'm saying, I'm talking to. I have also lobby for medical supplies to give to all facilities in my constituency. So, and then, we have nursing training, but getting admission to nursing training has become too difficult. But I cannot have schools and my people will not benefit. So local content is also. So I'm able to get certain quota for my indigenes who want to go into nursing training. And then for the 4 years, we are able to push 60 people into the nursing training. And some of them, their school fees, we pay some of the school fees, but not all. To those who are needy and then vulnerable, we do that.
Okay.
So,
and you believe that all of these things you've done are enough to retain you?
There. In addition to that, you see the ear. You see it like this. Children in the school, sometimes when you go, you are learning, teachers feel that they are not intelligent, they are not good, but some of them cannot hear. After running the screening for the children, some you have to remove cockroaches from the ear, beans, stone, and then a lot of foreign matter, even pencil. Pencil. It's very carbon. It's a carbon.
That I know because I think they put it in their ears.
Yes, it's also there and stuck.
But the cockroaches, Mensah, is so soft.
Yes, it's stuck there. They don't know, and then you have to remove that. And some of them are not even hearing. They are not. They can't hear. So we have to provide an hearing aid for them. Okay. And one hearing aid costs 12,000 Ghana cedis. And for the
and you've done it for how many people?
36 people.
36 people. But
okay.
I want to, are these enough to retain you?
Oh, if they are not enough, these are human-centered policy interventions we are putting in place, touching the people. My sister, when you are blind, you close your eye for a second. For a lifetime, you are not seeing anything. And then all of a sudden, you are seeing. If anybody comes to talk to you to vote for them, you will not.
Okay.
And that was one of the reason why I won the primaries. If otherwise, I would have been through someone.
Okay, so in the elections, you won with a margin of over 85%. What is your target this year?
Operation 95.
95? That's ambitious.
Yes, Operation 95, and we are going to achieve that.
But your opponent, Courage, is targeting 54%.
Who is the Courage?
Goldberg.
Oh, even let me tell you, let me throw it to you. If you stand up to be an assemblyman, I'm being truthful to you. So don't even think about him. Let's talk about business. As for him, assemblyman election, I can't win the election. I'm being authoritative.
You are so confident.
I'm very authoritative. I'm confident. I know what I'm saying. I know the battleground. I have done needs assessment for every community. I know their needs. I know their plight.
Can you imagine? He may have done same.
Oh, where? He should point out. If you invite him to this studio, and he should tell us the achievement. Communities have been existing for 200 years without electricity. I wrote to Minister of Energy. He said they don't have all the resources. I have to do joint cost sharing. And about 13 communities in the island, we haven't seen light before. Through my intervention, we joined with the cost sharing. I'm connecting light for order. This is a responsibility of our assembly to do those things. So what are we talking about? So for me, I'm very confident that people will reward me handsomely. And then
with 95%.
95%.
That's for you. What about your candidates?
Both. I say Operation 95. 95% of vote for Mahama, 95% of the vote for Usually Gakpa. And we will achieve that. And then the grand, I don't want to talk.
And what's your message? What are you campaigning on? What are you telling the people?
Now, when you look at NDC manifesto, I have pushed Formally, when you see you see manifestos, they always say they will construct road in Volta region.
Yes.
They will do market in Volta region.
Yes. Ultra-modern market.
That's all that we say. But now this current manifesto is Keta manifesto. Do you know the spirit of NDC comes from Keta? The founder comes from Keta.
Okay.
You know that?
Yeah.
Oh, you don't know?
Oh, no.
Yes.
Jerry General.
Yes, the spirit comes from Keta. So we have no excuse.
Okay.
We need to do, the Operation 95 is possible. And if you are Votarian following these people, then, you are fighting a lose battle. Because
so are you saying that people in Ashanti region shouldn't vote for
No, they will vote. They will vote.
Why should they have vote for the NDC?
I'm saying that if you are Votarian and then you are following these people again, because we have been denigrated.
Okay.
We have been denigrated, vilified, certain statements that's supposed not to, for how long can we continue? Even people don't even want to accept us that we are even a Ghanaian. Keta have been existing. It's part of Gold Coast. We are in a transvoter Togoland. Keta was not part of transvoter Togoland. Keta was existing long ago. So why do you classify as a Togolese?
Okay.
So now that these things are going, I can tell you on authority that, as for the vote,
Operation 95%.
Yes.
Okay. But how will your constituents benefit from the 24-hour economy?
24-hour economy is allowed. So one, before I move even to the 24-hour economy, I'm telling you the manifesto is Keta manifesto.
Keta manifesto.
And that apart from all the things that former president promised to do, they have titled it Keta. What are some of the key interventions that Keta need urgently? Need. We put it there. One was dredging of Keta Lagoon to provide a canal from the sea to Keta Lagoon, where it will boost the local economy. Those who are into fishing, you see shrimps, crab, and other fishes will spring up because the moment seawater entering the lagoon, it brings a lot of shrimps and crab. So one, it is under the manifesto in Keta. One of the things is that satellite university or school of pharmacy will be built in Keta, where people can come in and it will be boosting the local economy. The President Mahama promised in my own manifesto they will be building, because of tidal waves and everything, the sea defense project.
It's going to continue the phase 2 of the...
Yes. Okay. And then to relieve our people of their plight. And then also, the school of Uhabu Agri College, it's close to Abo, Uhabu. If NDC win and we are going to win, they are going to convert that college into university.
Okay.
And in addition to that, the almighty Keta Harbor, for the 8 years we have been dreaming, and then this government promised to, construct the harbor, and they are not able to do it. It's under Keta, under our manifesto that Keta Harbor will be constructed when NDC win power.
Okay.
In addition
tell me briefly how your constituents are going to benefit from the 24-hour economy.
Yes. First of all,
briefly, in about 30 seconds.
24-hour economy is talking about basically if you are even a farmer and then we have a cottage industry that are processing. Look at the tomatoes that came recently. A lot of tomatoes, but they are perishing because we don't have any industry there to process locally. So the farmers are farming.
Maybe the MPP will build one district, one factory.
So for how long? For 8 years. For 8 years. When are they going to build it? It's not there. One constituency, 1 million. It's not coming.
So you didn't get your 1 million.
So where? Oh. And then that Keta from Keta to the port, the border is we go to Togo.
Okay.
My people do a lot of businesses in Togo, across Togo. So 24-hour economy, 10 o'clock they close the border. This one they are not going to.
The border will not be closed.
They will not be closed. And then the security agencies and people who will be working there, they will be working 28 hours. So it's 888. Are you getting it?
Okay, that's
so they will be there.
Okay.
So in addition to that, if you are a tomatoes farmer, and then an industry is there to process, local industry to process the tomatoes to puree and then paste. You'll be able, if you are doing 1 acre under the 24-hour economy, you'll be doing 3 acres.
Okay.
Are you getting the point? You are not going to farm in the evening or in the night, but you'll be expanding and be feeding the plant that is doing 8 hourly.
Okay. Your final words. We're wrapping up.
Oh, my final words is that Mahama cares, Gakwe cares for the people of good people of Keta, and then with Almighty God on our hands, whether raining or shining, John Ramani Mahama is going to win this election. Jijali Gakwe is going to win the election.
Okay.
So those who are listening to here, we are pleading that they should talk to their people Yeah, we are going to go to ghetto, house to house, village to village, community to community to deliver the needed vote.
Okay. Thank you very
Operation
much.
95.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
We've been engaging a member of parliament for the Keta constituency, Kwame Jujoli Gakbe. I was able to mention.
Yeah,
Shame
you
on
did
you.
well.
And that does it for Campaign Trail and Starr today as well. On that Operation 95%, we bring Starr today to an end. Thank you very much for your time. I'm Tutuwaa Danso. And for more news updates, please log on starfm.com. I've been doing this with
Joshua Kodjo Mensah.
Somebody said it's just two.
It's what?
Just two.
Just two.
Have a good evening.